Hey, what's going on, everybody? This is Tyrone back with Tech Life. And in today's video, I have a network update for you guys from T-Mobile. And this is not a good one. So if you watch my recent video where I gave you guys a summary of the transcript of Neville Ray speaking at a conference, he mentioned during the conference that he has a very long backlog of permits that are now getting approved. Well, apparently, the city of San Francisco is not moving fast enough, so now T-Mobile has decided to sue the city to speed up that process. Again, I think from what I've seen, from what I've heard, T-Mobile is super aggressive trying to accomplish the 5G leadership position. They are ultra aggressive to the point now that I'm hearing the contractors that are going up on these sites are working at 2-3 a.m. in the morning with light generators. They are being super ultra aggressive to integrate the network, one, and two, to be able to claim the 5G leadership that they're trying to push into the market space. That is what T-Mobile hopes changes to perception on the network. There is still a disconnect on perception with T-Mobile compared to Verizon and AT&T in terms of size of network and performance of network. So with this move, T-Mobile is trying to completely put that to rest. They're trying to get all third parties on board, the testing firms, which they will. If they push this out at a quick pace, they get this up on the sites, they integrate even just 60 or 80 megahertz of the N41, the towers are going to immediately speed up. Remember, when T-Mobile built out the HSPA network, they did so on mid-band. Remember, T-Mobile had no low band when they first started in the carrier space. They had no low band. So Neville, which has been with the company since the early 2000s, had to build a dense network grid to begin with. He had no other choice. That's why early on, T-Mobile decided to go in the urban and suburban markets first, build out there, and try to gain some low band to build out the network, which they then did with band 12. But when they first started the network, they were a city regional carrier because they had no low band. So the money it took to build that dense of a grid was mainly spent within the cities. They had some coverage, but it was very hard to build out on 1900 megahertz in some areas. It was hard because there were long stretches of highways and you needed to build a dense grid in order to keep the network going, where with low band, you can push the frequency much further. So now incorporating that 2.5 in most cities and suburban areas with the grid that's already meant for mid-band, it's going to complement each other well. They're going to complement each other so well, the mid-band and the dense grid. Of course, there's some areas where T-Mobile has to add a tower here and there, but for the most part, in most urban areas, they are dense enough to make this work. So they are pushing. I mean, you can tell here, if you're suing a state, that means you're ready to pay money for legal fees. So they're really ready to make this happen, to change the perception, to really start integrating the network at a pace that they are speaking of internally. I know I mentioned they haven't really let that onto the public yet, that they are upgrading the network at such pace, but they're really pushing. And as this backlog of permits gets approved, they're going to take that to an even further level. So just keep all that in mind. It's still early on in the 5G race, so to speak. T-Mobile is still early on in the integration. It started in April this year when they got the approval. We're now at the end of this year. 2021 is going to be another insane year for T-Mobile. Then everything should stabilize 2022, 2023. They should start being almost done with the full integration, having the systems integrated, most people migrated. So there's going to be a lot to celebrate for T-Mobile in the future. There are going to be some hiccups along the way. They have so many contractors out there that are doing stuff that are messing up. It's just part of the process. Like I said, it will stabilize at some point. It will get better. But for now, T-Mobile has decided they will sue the city of San Francisco. And if this is the case too in other cities, I do likely see them suing other cities as well, especially with the backing of the FCC now, if they don't get on board. So leave all your comments in the comment section down below. Look forward to reading them. Also, if you have been on the channel or you're new to the channel and you have not yet liked, shared, subscribed, make sure you do so. Hit the notification bell so you are notified when I do upload the content. Also, follow all of my social media outlets for more updates. Twitter, I post the videos on the Twitter and more interaction. Also, follow the Instagram. I post pictures of the N41 rollout here where I'm at locally, so you guys can check that out. So make sure to follow all of the social media platforms. Thanks again for watching. This is Tyrone with Tech Life, and I will see you guys in the next video. Peace.